For survivors of human trafficking, there are support groups out there, certainly. But before now, there hasn't been a support group in Idaho led by survivors, those who have actually experienced the trauma of trafficking. The Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition and Idaho's National Alliance on Mental Illness, otherwise known as NAMI, recognize that need. Aspen Shumpert caught up with both of these organizations to hear how this new group works.
People with the same lived experience can support each other, can advocate for each other, can put each other in touch with resources, and it's a safe, secure environment.
By walking along survivors and victims of human trafficking, two local women realized there was a missing resource in Idaho.
This victimization is like no other. What we've struggled to find over the past 6 years is a support group, a platform in Idaho that is specific to human trafficking.
Beth Markley, the executive director for the organization NAMI that runs support groups for people with mental health conditions, and Jennifer Zielinski, the executive director for the Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition, decided to create it themselves.
We both recognized that it was a need. We've talked to each other about our respective organizations, and it actually felt like, why doesn't this exist already?
They say it's taken the last few years of preparing and finding the right leaders, but together they launched Idaho's first survivor-led human trafficking support group in late October.
To have someone look at you and say, you're not a loser, I've been in your shoes and I'm doing well, is something that is so empowering, and especially in areas where there's so much stigma and there's so much shame.
It's also helping further the conversation of human trafficking in Idaho.
Nationally, there are states that have been moving anti-trafficking efforts forward for over 25 years. So it's a newer effort in Idaho.
I've talked to a lot of people who said, if I didn't know that there were other people who were walking the same walk that I was, I might just fall down and not get back up. But knowing that recovery is possible for somebody else, regardless of what their journey looked like, gives me so much hope that it's worth it to come and share and listen and get information.
Of the support group are admitted through an application process. Zielinski says that is to make sure the group is right for them, that they're ready for something like this. For anyone watching this who is interested in attending the support group, they can visit either the Idaho Anti-Trafficking Coalition's website or the NAMI website for more information on how to apply. If you or someone you know needs help, you can call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888 or text 233-733.
So Aspen, I have a question then. Okay, so just because somebody is a survivor of human trafficking or whatever doesn't necessarily qualify them to be a counselor. How does that work in this case?
Yeah, we talked about that, of how they're picking their survivors that are leading these groups, and they actually went through a robust training themselves and have been in this for a year, getting the training, talking with other group leaders. If this is something for them, conversations get brought up in these support groups that might be triggering. So it really is a process of making sure this is the right thing for everyone.
And the right fit, as you said, this is an application process, not just walking in on the street.
Application process for the survivors leading the group and an application for participants of the group as well.
All right, thank you very much, Aspen.